Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Boy Nick here, back again with a brand new video today. But for the first time in a few months, we're going to do another Marvel movie review. I'm really excited to do this one. Or actually, it's an MCU movie review, my bad. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know that a few months back, I reviewed every single MCU movie up to the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I also reviewed Ant-Man Quantumania when that came out. And a new MCU movie came out with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which was directed by James Gunn, and is now the second movie in Phase 5, and I cannot wait to talk about this movie. Now, before we go into the review, I just want to make this very clear. There's going to be a spoiler-free review. I will not talk about spoilers. I'm not going to even hint at potential things that'll happen. I might say, tiny little, minute details, but I'm not gonna give away big plot details or reveals or anything like that. It's going to be very, 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 very minor stuff. And because I don't want to ruin this movie for anybody. But if you want to know my consensus about the film before I go into the movie, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought that it was incredible. I think that this is, in all honesty, I think this is the best Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home. And I know that might sound like a big statement to come out with, but I really do think that. And there's so many things about this movie that just worked for me on nearly every level. This movie was incredible. And I'll talk about the things that I liked. Let me tell you why I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is incredible and why you should go watch it. Of course, the cast is phenomenal as always. In my opinion, the Guardians of the Galaxy are better than they've ever been, in my opinion. The way that they are in this movie honestly reminds me a little bit of Avengers Endgame, and how in Endgame the Avengers felt more human than they ever have. That's exactly how this movie feels. The Guardians are more human than they've ever felt. And it's it adds this new kind of gritty tone to it, but it's honestly I'm glad that they put that in there because it made it a lot more refreshing, and it works for the story that they tell on all levels. The tone in this film, it's definitely darker than the first two, but it's still quite fun, and the tone is perfect for the story they're telling. The main thing about this movie that really made me go, this is an incredible MCU movie, is that every single character has their moment to shine, and they all have very satisfying arcs. That's the thing I love about the story so much. The story works for you to care about these characters that we've loved for all these movies now, and just give them great conclusions to their arcs, and just make sure that everything about them is satisfying. Every single character is given their moment to shine, and that's saying something, considering that the Guardians of the Galaxy is a bunch of characters. And everything about their arcs just worked for me, pretty much. I can't really think of all that many things about their arcs that bothered me, really. Now, of course, I said I'm not going to go into spoilers, but just little things I wanted to kind of point out. Rocket's story is explored in this movie, as a lot of people were hinting at in the trailers. And of course, I'm not even going to hint at anything, but it was a very compelling story, and it was very well told, and I thought that they did an excellent job with that. I also love the way that they handled Star-Lord and Gamora in this film post-Endgame. Again, I'm not going to hint at anything, but the way they handled these two characters and their story in this film, I found very satisfying as a fan. It stayed true to the characters, and it just, on a story level, it really, really worked, and I think that the writers did a A+ job. They did a phenomenal job with the script. And the other thing about this arc that I really loved was the acting. Chris Pratt really is phenomenal and deserves more credit as Peter Quill. I know that we all like Chris Pratt as this character, and I know that everyone, likes Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy, but I feel like Chris Pratt doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to perfect casting choices for Marvel characters. I think Chris Pratt is amazing as Star-Lord. I think that this film, in all honesty, might be Chris Pratt's best performance as the character. I really do mean that. He feels more human than he ever has, and his arc is just so, so, so satisfying. And Zoe Saldana is also amazing as Gamora, and I think she deserves a lot more credit too. Mantis, Nebula, and Drax, I have those three together because those three characters do spend quite a bit of time together in the movie. Again, I'm not even going to hint at anything, but I actually like the fact that these characters spend a lot of time together because they work very well as a trio. I really liked the way that Drax and Mantis were in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which, by the way, I would recommend checking out the Holiday Special before going and seeing this movie. You don't necessarily have to, but I feel like it kind of Well, actually, no, I feel like you probably should, because it actually has some big reveals in it that I won't even talk about if you haven't seen it. My camera stopped recording for some reason, sorry, but what I was saying in the previous clip was that I would recommend checking out the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special before going and seeing this film, because it doesn't have too much to do with the story, but there are some big reveals in the Holiday Special that I do feel like it's important to know those before going into it, because I feel like if you don't see the Holiday Special and you go and see it, you might be like, wait, when did this happen? So yeah, maybe go check that out first. But as I was kind of saying, though, I really liked the way that Drax and Mantis work together in that Holiday Special. I think that they have that same kind of chemistry in this movie, although it's a little bit more serious because of a character like Nebula. And these are three characters that I didn't even know they could work this well together, and they did an excellent job working together. The actors, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillian, and I forget what's the actress's name who plays Mantis, but they all three of them are awesome on camera. And speaking of Karen Gillan, I thought Karen Gillan was very good as Nebula. I think she's come a long way since the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I mean, she was good in those, but there was a couple moments, especially in the second one, where I felt like she was overacting a bit. I think she really improved with Avengers Endgame. I think she understands the character a lot more now, and I think Karen Gillan, like, in Endgame in this movie, has come a long way from the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and she's excellent. Even Groot has some awesome moments in this movie that I think fans are going to love. Like, Groot, I feel like isn't as important in this movie as maybe he was in some of the other ones, but he still has enough time to where you love the moments with him, and his arc is still very satisfying. You know, it's hard not to love Groot. And a very talented actor whose name I do not know how to pronounce, so I'll put on screen somewhere, is great as the High Evolutionary. He's the villain for this movie. I'm not even going to hint at anything about the High Evolutionary, but he's definitely better than Ronan. He's a much better villain than Ronan, and I feel like he honestly could go toe-to-toe with Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm not sure if he's necessarily better than him, but I feel like they're like, You can honestly argue that the High Evolutionary might be better than him. Yeah, he's that good. I know a big thing that people anticipated going into this movie was Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, and I have written down he's really cool as Adam Warlock, and he has a satisfying arc even with the limited amount of screen time that he was given. I kind of would have liked to have seen him a little bit more because I don't really know a whole lot about Adam Warlock, but for the time he was there, I really liked the scenes he was in. I thought Poulter did a great job. And I would love to see more of this character in the future, and like even like with a limited amount of screen time, I found his arc very satisfying. Like the thing that we end up seeing with him near the end of the movie, like I think fans are gonna love it. The voice acting for the non-human characters is fantastic as always. Of course, Bradley Cooper as Rocket and Vin Diesel as Groot, and some of the other like characters that we meet in this film that are not human characters. Voice acting is excellent. I think that Marvel does a great job when it comes to motion capture and voice acting characters. They really, really did an excellent job with it. The soundtrack is killer as always because James Gunn has impeccable taste in music. I mean, what's not to love about the Guardians of the Galaxy music, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing stuff that James Gunn did with like the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. Like, the songs that he picks for superhero movies are just fantastic. The guy's got amazing taste. The action sequences in this movie are, in my opinion, top tier Marvel action sequences. I think that because, like, it is grand, not necessarily in the Avengers Endgame sense, but definitely grand for a Guardians of the Galaxy level film. And especially this one scene, which is the corridor scene, I'm not going to even go into it all that much, which you saw little bits of in the trailer. Top tier Marvel action sequence. It's beautifully edited, it's beautifully shot, the choreography, 10 out of 10 on all angles. Like, I honestly do mean that. I think that the action sequences with the corridor is phenomenal. And of course, this film has excellent use of CGI. It's some of the best CGI that we've had so far in the MCU, and it's definitely, I think, tied with Black Panther Wakanda Forever for best CGI post Phase 3. I really do think that this has some incredible CGI, like, on all fronts. So although Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was an incredible Marvel movie, and I really do mean that, I have one flaw with this movie. And it's one flaw that's like so minute it kind of doesn't even matter. And it was what I said earlier. I just wanted to see some more of Adam Warlock. I wasn't disappointed with the character in any way, but he was only there for such limited time that I kind of wish we would have gotten to see more of him. But I feel like that does open up some more, possibility for what we could see with him in the future. Yeah, so before I go into my rating and grade, I want to give a quick summary on the film, which I have written down in my notes. I put, this is arguably the best Guardians movie yet. I know that might sound like a big statement to make, but like you could honestly, this is much better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and you could honestly argue that it's better than the first one. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I feel like you could argue it. I'm not even lying. This film is amazing. So it's arguably the best one yet, and in my opinion, as I said at the beginning, it's the best Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home. I've liked the stuff that's come out since No Way Home. You know, I really liked Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, even though it had a couple frustrating things. And Thor: Love and Thunder was a movie that, for me personally, I really liked. I know some other people didn't care for it, and that's fine. Wakanda Forever was excellent. I think definitely the best Marvel movie of last year. And I really liked Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania as well. I feel like Quantumania didn't get the credit that it deserved, man. But I really do think that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best one since No Way Home, because like there was a lot of expectations for it, and I feel like it was just satisfying on all levels. I think that James Gunn did it again, and if this is the last time we get to see these characters, honestly, given the way that like their arcs wrap up in this film, I'm okay with it. I really am okay with it if we never get to see these characters again, given how their arc is. But I would still love to see them again because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, you know? I don't see this movie being overly divisive. I really don't. I think that most fans are going to love this film. I think they're just going to eat it up and just love everything about it. I also have written down, this is a big statement, but as of movies that have come out in 2023, this is my favorite movie of the year so far. There's some other movies I haven't seen yet that I really do want to see, but of the stuff that I've kind of seen so far with, like, Quantumania, which I already talked about, and Shazam! Fury of the Gods is also very, very good. I don't understand why people didn't like that movie that much. And I also really did love the Super Mario movie, and the Dungeons and Dragons movie was also really fun. There's some great stuff that's come out this year. Everything I've seen so far this year I've really liked, but I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 really is my favorite movie of the year so far. I think it's the best thing that I've seen so far. Remember, that's the key word, that I've seen, because there's some stuff I still haven't seen, but man, so far, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we've got an excellent marker for 2023. Hopefully some of the other movies that come out later this year are going to be awesome. Man, this film was just so satisfying, and as a fan, I loved it. I'm so happy that it turned out as satisfying as it did. It made me so happy. I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 an overall rating of a 9.5 out of 10. Incredibly entertaining. So entertaining. The only reason I didn't give it a 10 was because I wanted to see a little bit more Adam Warlock. And I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a grade of an A+. That's actually the highest rating I've ever given a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I gave the first one an A. I would have given that one an A+. Had a Ronan bit of better villain. I gave Volume 2 a B+. So I gave Volume 3 an A+. And I'm not even trying to hype this movie up. It's well made. I really do think that it deserves that grade. It is a very, very well done film. And I know that I am a big Marvel fan, and you guys might watch my reviews and think, oh, he's a Marvel fan, of course he's going to give it that. But I've only really given, I think, 9 movies an A+ before, and there's over 30 MCU movies at this point. And so I only really give it to A+ to the ones that really deserve it. I just love good movies, and so that's why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 deserves an A+. Guys, make time to go see this movie. This movie is freaking awesome. Make sure that you've definitely seen the Guardians 1 and 2 before Infinity War Endgame. I do recommend checking out the holiday special before going and seeing it, so that you just have your memory of the characters, refreshed before you go see the film. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys think about this film in the comments down below. I really want to know what you guys think. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will have a review coming out later this week for Moon Knight. I'm currently rewatching that because I'm doing a series in which I'm reviewing every single MCU Disney Plus show and special up to the release of Secret Invasion. And I will also have a review later this week for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for my other series I'm doing, which I'm reviewing every single Sony Spider-Man Universe film up to the release of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I can't wait to talk about those. Thank you guys so much as always for watching the video. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I release videos. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. And yeah, it's been it. Peace!